Okay, good morning to all again. Welcome back. The last class we discussed about your DRAM, the characteristics of DRAM, and about uh, the general view of the DRAM or dynamic RAM. So today we're going to discuss about the DRAM memory cell. So in this figure, it is the internal cell of the dynamic RAM. Though SRAM is very fast but is expensive because of its very cell requires several transistors. SRAM is very costly because the number of the transistors are used. Relatively RAM or in case of a DRAM, due to the use of one transistor and one capacitor in each cell, as shown in the below figure, where C is the capacitor and T is the transistor. This C is the capacitor and T is the transistor. This is the watt line and this is the bit line. Information is stored in a DRAM cell in the form of a charge on a capacitor, and this chain needs to be periodically recharged. That means when this capacitor is being charged, then the information is stored within that memory cell, and this capacitor is mainly the reason why the dynamic nature it is a auto refresh, because due to there is a capacitor right now, because capacitor is automatically charged and discharge the current, and according to that charging and discharging, the information is stored within this memory cell. Next, for storing information in the cell, transistor T is turned on and appropriate voltage applied to the bit line. So this is the on and off position for the transistor. When the transistor in the on position, the appropriate voltage will transfer to the capacitor and the charge will be written on the data. This causes a known amount of charge to be stored in the capacitor. After the transistor is turned off, due to the property of the capacitor, it starts to discharge. Hence the information stored in the cell can be read correctly only if it is read before the charge on the capacitors drop below some threshold values. So this transistor is help to the flow of the current into the capacitor. When this transistor in the off position, that means the capacitor starts to discharge. When the transistor in the on position, your capacitor being charged by the current. Clear? So this is the simple phenomena, because the capacitor is only the unit which help to auto recharge and auto discharge of the current. So that is the dynamic RAM, which everybody knows that in the DRAM the it auto recharge facility is there. That means your auto refresh is there. That's why it is a read and write operation you can done. Suppose you're writing anything, you have some mistake, then you can erase that thing. So what do you mean the erase? That means when you erase the options or you can delete the space, that means in that time the transistor in the move to the off mode and in all the power supply is disconnected, and automatically charger will be or capacitor will be discharged. So that is the phenomena of the DRAM memory cell. But in the case of SRAM, there is no capacitor. There is only transistors are there, so it is very costly. That's why, because generally the transistor is very costly than the capacitor. So here the transistor, one transistor and one capacitor is there in the DRAM. Right? So static RAM, though there is no capacitor, only the transistors are there. So that's why the voltage supply to the static RAM is not the auto refresh technique is there. So that is the internal cell of the DRAM memory cell. Next is your types of DRAM, that is asynchronous DRAM or ADRAM. The DRAM described above is the asynchronous type DRAM. The timing of the memory device is controlled asynchronously. A specialized memory controller circuit generates the necessary control signal to control the timing. The CPU must take into account the delay in the response of the memory. That means here the asynchronous, that means a memory control circuit generates the necessary control signals to control the timing period. But in case of the synchronous DRAM or SDRAM, these RAM chips access speed is directly synchronized with the CPU clock. For this, the memory chip remain ready for operation when the CPU expects them to be ready. That is the basic difference. Asynchronous means there is no timing line. That means there is no coordination between the processor and the memory. Sometimes memory is ready to supply the data, but processor is not ready to process the data. But in case of the synchronous, and that problem, in case of asynchronous, that problem is controlled by special memory circuit which control that generates necessary control signal to coordinate the function of the processor and the memory. But in case of the synchronous, there is no problem. There is a entire process is controlled by the CPU clock. That means when CPU wants to receive the data or data from the memory, that time memory is also ready to supply the data to the processor. That means the memory chip remain ready for operation when the CPU expects them to be ready. Right now, when CPU wants to retrieve the data from the memory, that means in that time memory should supply the data to the processor. Next, these memories operate at the CPU memory bus without imposing wait states. SDRAM is commercially available as module incorporating multiple SDRAM chips and forming the required capacity for the modules. Next is your double data rate SDRAM or DDR SDRAM. This faster version of SDRAM performs its operation on both edges of the clock signals, whereas a standard SDRAM performs its operation on the rising edge of the clock signals. Since they transfer data on both edges of the clock and the data transfer rate is double. To access the data at high rate, the memory cells are organized into two groups. Each group is accessed separately. So this is the DDR SDRAM or the double data rate. This is a faster version of SDRAM. Perform its operation on both edges of the clock signal, whereas a standard SDRAM performs its operation on the rising edge of the clock signal. Since they transfer data on both edges of the clock, the data transfer rate is double. So it is a high speed RAM SDRAM because here the transfer data on both edges of the clock and the data transfer rate is double. That's why. So it is a very fast memory, the DDR RAM. And this is the difference between the SRAM and the DRAM. Look, first on DRAM, constructed of tiny capacitors that leak electricity. In the dynamic RAM, obviously there is a capacity. There is a capacitor that leak electricity. But in case of SRAM, there is no capacitor concept. Construct of circuits are similar to D flip-flops. You are using the latches of D flip-flop and only uses the transistor like. So requires, second point, DRAM requires a recharge every few milliseconds to maintain its data because there is auto refresh. Holds its, but in case of SRAM, holds its contents as long as power is available. DRAM, it is inexpensive, but in case of SRAM, it is very expensive. DRAM again slower than SRAM, but SRAM is faster than DRAM. DRAM can store many bits per chip, but SRAM cannot store many bits per chip. Next, DRAM use less power, but SRAM use more power. DRAM generates less heat, but SRAM generates more heat. And DRAM used for main memory and SRAM used for only cache. That is the difference between SRAM and the DRAM. Next, move to the ROM chip or read-only memory. It stores crucial information essential to operate the system, like the program essential to boot the computer. It is not volatile, always retain its data, used in embedded system or where the programming needs no change. Used in calculators and peripheral devices. ROM is further classified into 4 types: read-only ROM, PROM, EPROM and EEPROM. So let's discuss about the first thing is ROM stands for read-only memory. The chip is look like this in your motherboard. Such type of chip is mounted on the motherboard permanently. But here the RAM is there is a slot which can replace the RAM chip or RAM card, memory card from that slot, and then you can again the put another new card within that slot. But in case of ROM, if there is any problem, there is no that such type of facility. It is not it is not removed by the user. It is already the mounted for permanently within, on the motherboard. So it stores crucial information essential to operate the system, like the program essential to boot the computer. That means it contains all the booting softwares within the computer. Next, it is not a volatile. This purely it is a not volatile. That means when the power is, because it is read only memory, data is only written once it is written within that chip, and you can only read that data from that memory. So that is contains the BIOS data, right? So during the your starting of the computer, the some code is retrieved from that chip and for the starting. Next is your always retains its data, used in embedded system or where the program needs no change. Used in calculators and peripheral devices. ROM is further classified into 4 types: ROM, PROM, EEPROM and EEPROM. So next is your types of read-only memory. That is the PROM, programmable read-only memory. It can be programmed by user. Once programmed, the data and instruction in it cannot be changed. EEPROM means erasable programmable read-only memory. It can be reprogrammed and to erase data from it, expose it to ultraviolet light, to reprogram it, erase all the previous data. Erasable programmable read-only memory, that means the ultraviolet rays are used to erase the data for the rewriting purpose, right? Next is your EEPROM, electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. The data can be erased by applying electric field. No need of ultraviolet light. We can erase only portion of the chip. So here high voltage current is required, electric current or electric field is required to erase the data. There is no need of the ultraviolet light. Again, there is a difference between RAM and ROM chip. RAM is temporary storage, ROM is permanent storage. RAM store data in MBPS, store data in GPS, read-only memory. RAM is purely volatile, but ROM is purely non-volatile. Used in normal operation in case of RAM, but ROM used for startup process of computer. BIOS program is there. RAM is writing the data is faster. In case of read-only memory, writing data is a bit slower than RAM. So this is the difference between RAM and the ROM chip. So next we discuss about the flash memory. Flash memory is, what is the flash memory? Look, flash memory storage is a form of non-volatile memory that was born out of a combination of the traditional EEPROM and EEPROM, electrical erasable. E2 means electrical erasable program read-only memory, and EEPROM means erasable program read-only memory. So flash memory, the combination of traditional EEPROM and EEPROM. In essence, flash memory use the same method of programming as the standard EEPROM and the eraser method of the EEPROM. That means it is use the features of both EEPROM and the EEPROM, simply saying. Next, one of the main advantages that flash memory has when compared to EEPROM is its ability to be erased electrical. However, it is not possible to erase each cell in a flash memory individually unless a large amount of additional circuit is added into chip. This would add significantly to the cost, and accordingly most manufacturers drop this approach. Right? Why the manufacturers not interested to use this memory, chip flash memory as a big structure, or like a primary memory, secondary memory? Because this would add significantly to the cost. Its cost is very high because it is erasable by the or to erase the data. Additional circuits is required to erase the data. That's why you only use for the small purpose. Like suppose here flash memory. Yeah, these are the flash memories, the pen drives. Next is these cards are used in your digital cameras. Right now, this is the memory chip, SD memory chips. So these are known as the flash memory. So looks about what is the advantages of the flash memory. It is non-volatile memory, easily portable, and memory mechanically robust. Right.